people defecting? Because I was going to ask, as my colleague Nifemi Oguntoye was asking another of your colleagues yesterday, look, in the presidential election, the personas are different. But LP, Labour Party, carried sway. And he asked the question, so what has changed since then? In other words, is it out of the realm of conceptualization that nobody is talking very much about Labour Party apart from they themselves? So what is it that is different between when they, emerged at the polls victorious in the presidential election between then and now? But I brought that question in that particular way because you've just spoken about people decamping. You think they've done enough for that?
Let me give you the scenario.
Sure.
In Edo in 2023, we had a situation where the attraction of the young voters was for Peter Obi as a presidential candidate.
Okay.
In that same 2023, even though Labour Party won the presidential votes, APC still won two senatorial seats. Labour won one. APC still won 7 House of Rep members out of 9 on the same day, the same time, in the same election. That is to tell you that the attraction was for Obi as a presidential candidate, not necessarily the other positions. So in this governorship, certain scenarios have come up. And one of them is that you have a Labour Party candidate that is from the Benin, the Edo South, where Godwin Obaseki is also from, contesting. It will now mean that you want to reinforce the failure of Obaseki, with another Labour Party candidate from the Edo South. You need
calling it a failure.
Balancing.
You're calling it a failure.
Obaseki, yeah. We can't reinforce failure. Yes. We can't reinforce failure because
I'm sure
Governor Obaseki has not done averagely okay. Yes, when you look at the statistics and the issues that dominate public discourse in Edo with respect to the economy, with respect to infrastructure and all of that, Obaseki is nowhere near an average mark. And so to a large extent, we speak to facts and what exists on ground and not what exists on paper as a function of MOU or as a function of what Obaseki wants the world to see in form of graphics and painting a scenario of using prototype projects to represent the reality that does not exist anywhere. And so for me, and for a lot of us, we know Edo too well. Only 3 days ago when it rained in Benin, you just need to come and take your visuals, Folarin. Everywhere was flooded. Even in front of government house where the governor takes to his own office. Flooded. You see craters of water in front of 4th Brigade. It's flooded. This is all within the vicinity of the government house. So when you have that kind of scenario, you just need little to tell the people to preach, the gospel of change, the gospel of having a new lease of life. That is why we christen our own campaign slogan as "A New Edo is Rising." Because we need someone who can connect to us, someone who will talk less and do more. Too much of highfalutin language, speaking grammar, just to confuse the people. At the end of the day, they pocket our money, and before you say Jack Robinson, they are building their own business empire, while the state suffers. So there is so much that has been left undone in Edo State in terms of road infrastructure, health infrastructure. Agriculture is begging for attention. Insecurity, is begging for attention. And so, if Obaseki wants to, actually attract votes ab initio, he would have considered that a day like this will come when he will be asking for the people for votes. Do you have to shout and coerce and threaten civil servants and that they should see this election as do or die before they will support you? If you had worked, there won't be any need for all of that salutations. But
Well,
when you are
I hear
threatening
you.
civil servants, you are coercing them and all that, it becomes a problem and it removes from your own acceptability. And so this election is an extension of Obasanjo's election. We're not looking at Afegbua. He talked about godfatherism. He said anytime he becomes a godfather, people should deal with him. They should stone him. So he's now a godfather. He's promoting his godson. So those people are going to deal with him with their votes. They are going to make sure that they punish him with the votes. It's going to be a kind of referendum on Saturday, 21st September.
I hear you, Kasim. But you know, you don't need me to tell you. I'm sure you're all ears. You're hearing what each side is saying. So let me return to that point about arguably the mistake that the governor made when he said the ordinary governorship election in Edo State was a do or die out there. Naturally, as a good party man, you people have seized on anything at all that doesn't further their cause. But might it not just have been the usual over-exuberance that you do get from politicians at times? Because let it be said, after all, it is the respected and revered former President Olusegun Obasanjo who introduced do or die into our vocabulary. You recall, again, there was a howl of outrage at the time. So naturally, as a good political player, you guys are majoring on there. But do you really think he was trying to incite people in Edo State to anarchy? Where are the people that are going to do that? No sensible person is going to go on the street and go in the way of anarchy. It doesn't matter what side you're on. That's my thinking of the good people of Edo State.
Well, I think you have to get familiar with the political dynamics of Edo State now. You see, I want to take inspiration from what Roosevelt once said, that when a leader is exiting power, he contemplates his successor the same way he contemplates death. Where will death meet me? Will I be sleeping? Will I be on the road? Will I be eating? Will I be on a journey? The same way a leader who is exiting will contemplate his successor. Is he going to come after my policies? Is he going to chase me? Is he going to probe me? Is he going to arrest me? Is he going to change some of the programs and policies I have enunciated and all of that? That is the same scenario. So the mind of the leader who is exiting is never at rest. Every little information he processes to some level of dissonance. At the same time, playing consciously to see how he can, he can railroad the process to his favor, so that fear that is inherent in the political dynamics will be eliminated by the victory of his own successor, whom he has chosen. But in this case, he has seen that his own successor is having a lot of flux, a lot of, bruises, a lot of, demarketing by virtue of the fact that his godson has been his advisor-in-chief, economic advisor, who has also played one or two roles in the halitosis that now informed this underperforming governor who wants a successor at all costs. So statements such as do or die is to create fear in the minds of the people, use the Edo security network as a bulwark, to stop anyone from legitimately going to cast votes on that day. But thank God for the Inspector General of Police. He came out and said there's no alternate police force in Edo State. Edo security network is hereby banned indefinitely. That has brought some level of tranquility in the politics of the state. Because before now, when we were doing our campaigns, supporters of PDP attacked our convoy in Ososo, in Akoko Edo local government. They attacked us at Ekweri in Esako Central local government. They attacked us in Ekpoma, and they were just attacking us. And you see all this Edo security network, You will see them wearing a T-shirt, and they are carrying pump action. And they are forming roadblocks before now. So even this morning, I got reports that in Ikoroa, around Gelegele in Ovia Northeast, that they are still walking the street freely with their pump action. So I had to personally alert the security agencies that they should take more than a judicious interest in that locality so that they can assist the people to come out and vote. We just want people to come out and vote. Nobody is manipulating any process. They've been crying, they've been shouting and all that. Those who attacked Senator Monday Okwebolo at the airport and Philip Shuaibu at the airport on July 18, you'll be shocked that till now, a lot of them who we identify, whose name we submitted to the security, are staying inside government house under the protective custody of the governor. He doesn't want them to be arrested. Don't forget that he also made a statement that if any of his boys is arrested, that Nigeria will burn and he will lead it. So we don't want Nigeria to burn. We have too much on our hands to chew, and we are appealing that election is not a do or die affair. We don't want any Edo person to spill his or her blood because you want power at all costs. 8 years ago, Obaseki thought power would not finish when he became governor of Edo State 2016. Today, he's counting his days. He's going to leave very soon. So power is a crazy aphrodisiac, and just like a revolving door, one way entrance and entry, another way exit. So people must realize when they attain power that one day is going to finish. All this paraphernalia of office, everything will pale into insignificance at the end of the day once that particular power departs from you. So power is going to depart from Obaseki in November 12, but he's fighting so seriously and so militantly, so to speak, to ensure that at all costs that his candidate emerges. But it's not going to be possible because he has done quite a lot of things. The temperature in Edo State is that of dissonance against Obaseki. We have former Senator Francis Alimi joined us just last week. We have quite a number of former House of Rep member 2-time, Ogbaide Hama, who won election twice in Obaseki's own local government of Oredu. He has joined us. So when you see all these political players joining us, do you think they won't bring votes for us? So I don't know where Obaseki is going to get the votes, but he intended to win the election before. But now that he's been blocked, he's making those kind of utterances that are very unbecoming of a chief executive of a state.
But Kasim, understandably, and you guys have done a marvelous job. I swear, when I say you guys, I'm talking about all APC chieftains and supporters in Edo. You've done a good job of communicating with the public. But I just wanted to ask, at the end of the day, it's going to be the good people of Edo who are going to be making the decision via their votes. Surely, you can't deny the towering heights of the competitors in the race. Whether it is the Labour Party governor, the former MBA, president, or the party, the candidate of the PDP. Are you concerned that? And then even your own candidate himself. After all, he's a sitting senator, so that in itself is an achievement. Are you concerned that the electorate might look at the credentials of other people and feel that, contrary to what we are being told, that there's only one horse in this race, there are a few sterling choices from which we could make a decision. Are you concerned about that at all?
No, I'm not concerned because the persons you have mentioned, one of them has been the advisor-in-chief to Godwin Obaseki, the governor. If he had done well, it will have reflected in the policy decisions of Godwin Obaseki ab initio. We will remember Obaseki as the former governor of Edo State who took memorandum of understanding to comic heights, who see that as even achievements. He promises an airport in Edo North we never saw. He promised a health center in each of the local governments. That's 18. Then he now said he's going to build primary healthcare center in each of the 192 wards. He never did one single one. He promised 18 stadia That is 1 per local government. We didn't see half of one. He promised Gelegele Seaport. We never see take off. He promised 250,000 jobs. We didn't see even 100,000 jobs. The Gelegele Port, he promised a 6-lane road, 3 apiece, from Gelegele down to Okpela, where I come from, as an industrial hub, where you have 2 cement giants. We didn't see any. So when you look at all of this, and you now reconcile that with the fact that Aswai Godalo has been his advisor, then you now see two of the same coin, 2 faces of the same coin. So they are one and the same.
Excuse me, Kasim.
Sorry?
Sorry to interrupt you, Kasim. I just wanted to bring on Aduni, yes, who has called in from Akure. Good morning, Aduni. Are you there? Oh, we lost Aduni. Please continue. Aduni had called in from Akure, but just as we were to go to her,
yes.
Okay, that's that. How about the Labour Party candidate? Surely, you've explained.
The Labour Party candidate is from Benin, where Obaseki comes from. The general understanding in Edo State is that power should move to Edo Central. The Edo Central, which is the Ishan-speaking tribe in Edo State. And so when you have such kind of understanding, it's like running against the run of play for another candidate of Benin extraction to come to contest for the governorship, when the Governor Baseki will just be finished 8 years. So that one is one. Secondly, he hasn't contested election before in Edo. Our candidate, Senator Mondo Kwebolo, is a serving senator who was able to break the jinx of PDP in Edo Central. APC has never won an election in Edo Central since 1999, and even since APC came on stream in 2007 through ACN, then later the merger and all of that. It has always been a PDP affair. It was Monday Kwebolo that broke that jinx, defeated a sitting senator, Clifford Odia, to emerge as a senator. He scored 42,000 votes. So if you look at that, take 5,000 away from that 42,000 votes, he still has about 37,000 votes, already ahead of every other candidate. So in terms of eligibility,
that is as these calculations go.
In terms of understanding,
he
is better off. He is an electable material than the Lagos Cowboys who have come to feast on Edo. I call them Lagos Cowboys because they are economic predators and buccaneers who are coming to feast on our collective patrimony. But you have a Mondo Kwebolo who has been doing things with his own resources. He has been doing things with his own resources. He's been building schools. He's been building boreholes. He's been doing quite a number of things. So I want to go with a Mondo Kwebolo who talk less but do more than those who are speaking big grammar, and at the end of the day, everything they pocketed those collective patrimony into their pockets.